It's really important to do an energy update. I want to talk about how we are experiencing just a whole breadth of different frequencies right now on this planet. We've got amazing amounts of light coming in. We have people still operating from a very dense, low vibrational frequency and everything in between. So it's important for you as a light worker, as a healer, maybe even as a budding coach to hold space for others, regardless of where they are on their journey. People are experiencing this reality uniquely. It's a very subjective experience, meaning that two people could see the same exact event and have completely different experiences regarding that event. That's because of the vibrational frequency that they are experiencing reality at. And that's based obviously on how they've been brought up, their limiting beliefs, their traumas, their experiences that they've had, not only earlier in this life, but in other lifetimes as well. So everyone is having a unique experience. As I've talked about in my A New You program, how we're all like little universes having its own experience. There's really no better way for Source to be able to have an infinite amount of different experiences really than creating individuals here and in other planets, other parts of the universe, other types of life forms, right? That each have their own individual experience. It's like having unlimited experiences all at once. People can be experiencing the same event, but they're processing it differently. That's an amazing way for Source to be able to have such an unlimited, limitless amount of experiences, right? So every human on this planet is having an experience and they're seeing their reality through the lens of their beliefs and of their vibrational frequency. So it's up to you to hold space for that. And like I said, we've got amazing high frequency energy coming in. It's pushing the bounds of consciousness. The vibration is rising. We're starting to open up into fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimensional frequencies. These realities are starting to come through, and we still have people who are on the other end of the spectrum not feeling safe, that are very aligned with fear, that continue to give their power away to others, whether it be institutions, government, religion, medical, or just giving their power away to their beliefs, right? What they believe around how the world works. They are living scared, living in a frequency of fear, feeling very separate, feeling very isolated, very alone, and this is causing them to have a very, very limited experience. So we have that whole range going on, and I know you being watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You're at the higher range of that energy, right? But you have to remember not to judge other people, okay? They are having experiences and seeing the world based on where they're at. You are having your experiences and seeing the world based on where you're at. Maybe you're more awake, you see through a lot of the BS and a lot of the nonsense out there, and you want to wake others up. You want to get in there, you want to tell them where they're wrong, maybe even want to judge them for not being awake. And that's something that you want to be able to obviously be aware of those tendencies when that comes up within you, but you don't want to act on it. You want to allow people to have their unique experiences. Everybody goes through this transition, through this shift in their own way. So we need to hold space to allow that to happen. Now, how can we help those who are scared or who are maybe a little bit misguided, who don't see the bigger picture? Maybe they're not even aware of this ascension process or the light we're receiving, right? How do we help them without pushing our experience or reality onto them? And my method is really holding a compassionate, loving space. When people can look at you as a light worker, as a coach, and see calm in the midst of what they perceive as chaos, that is an eye-opening experience. Okay, maybe they're so lost in their fear and they're not feeling safe, right? Their anxiety, their stress, that they don't even recognize it, but they're going to feel it. When you can embody and project this calm energy in the midst of somebody else's chaos, they feel that. Essentially, what you're doing quantumly is saying, just feel me. Join my experience, if even for a moment. This is calm. Become calm. You are giving them an opportunity to elevate and match your vibration. Okay? And when they do that, their experience can then start to shift. They start to drop more into their body. They start to get a little more centered. They start to think a little bit more rationally and clearly and responsively, not reactively. And they start to smooth out their energetic wobbles, right? Just because you held a higher vibrational space for them. Now, you didn't have to go in and beat them down over what's happening in the world and over what this thing or that thing, and you need to believe me because I know so much more, I'm awake, right? You didn't approach it from that spiritual ego perspective. You just held an example, and they have the opportunity to match that if they choose, right? Free will universe. You're giving other people the opportunity to rise vibrationally. And when they rise, they start to experience a whole new reality. That's what we're doing. So many people are not even aware of the light that has been anchored into this planet for the last few decades because they're so steeped in fear. So we need to remind them or awaken them to that by becoming it, not forcing it on anybody, but becoming it. As we continue into the later part of this year, things are going to get really, really wacky. Okay, and people are going to feel or experience a lot of chaotic energy. That is because the light continues to intensify. And when it intensifies, the density can no longer remain hidden. It can't remain tucked away. It's going to come up to be experienced. So many people are going to be experiencing chaos energetically, and it's going to be reflected or manifested in reality. That's how it works. This is the cause. Reality is the effect. Okay? So it's not the other way around, right? We sometimes tend to let ourselves believe that the reality is the cause and what's happening in here is the effect. That's when we give our power away to what's happening out here. But when you flip it around, you realize that what's going on in here is reflecting out there. And it's up to you to choose whether or not you want to disempower yourself and give power to the thing that's happening in reality. Well, a lot of people are still on that side of the fence where they're giving power away to what's happening out there. But as we keep getting these bursts of light, these solar flares, all of these amazing things, and we start seeing them pop into reality with big events happening, all of these oh my gosh moments, all of this craziness, right? That's the reflection of the light of the ascension and of the darkness coming up to be exposed. People are going to get lost in that. So it's up to you to remain centered, stable, anchored, project your light. How do you project your light? You become your light. You actually become your light. You feel it from your head. You feel it from your head to your toes. You feel it in your field. You anchor it into the planet and you broadcast it out. And you give others the opportunity to quantumly meet it and match it. That's how we continue to ground and anchor this amazing light. That's how the shadows will continue to be seen. And that's how we will rise into the frequency of new earth. Many of you are already starting to perceive those frequencies. Let's make them more available for others who are struggling. By the way, I want to mention, I just launched my Learn How to Channel course. So if you're interested in learning more about that, definitely check out the link in the description.